Man who's a proven threat to our safety is running for Congress. He might have an evil plan there. Much of what happens in Washington is our fault. It's hard to hear, but the fact is, our representatives are just that, our representatives. We elected them, we pay them, and we are responsible for kicking them out if they get out of line. Sadly, that rarely happens, but it's within our power to do it. In fact, we're supposed to have all the power because the system was set up by the people and for the people. The founding fathers gave us all the tools we needed to make sure that America stays great. However, the one thing they couldn't make sure we have is good sense. If we send representatives to Washington who don't believe in our values and don't want for our country what we want for it, that's on us. If we are the generation that believes in smooth talking and empty promises instead of digging into a politician's history and ideology, that's on us. Sadly, it might just be on us again, as the people of California are faced with quite the dilemma. According to the Daily Caller, one California district is faced with keeping their scandal-prone Republican representative or electing Amar Kampa-Najjar, and yes, it's as bad as that name sounds. Democratic candidate Amar whatever is running for Congress in California to unseat scandal-ridden Republican rep Duncan Hunter. Okay. A San Diego native, Najjar says he wants to serve the community that helped raise him, serve his family and friends, and provide the 50th District of California a leader who is not embattled in scandal, a reference to incumbent Hunter. Najjar talks a really great talk. In fact, he sent out a very compelling letter to his would-be constituents telling them why he deserves their support. A letter to California's 50th District. My name is Amar Kampa-Najjar, the people's candidate. I was born in East County, the son of a working-class mother who raised me with help from family and neighbors. From my first job as a church janitor to serving in the White House advocating for small businesses to fighting for American workers, I've devoted my life to service. I'm not accepting corporate donations. I'm running to give back to my mother's generation and to all those seeking to live and retire with dignity. Sounds good so far. Let's see. As Labor Department official, I served working families as a business owner. I know the burdens we face. Washington may have lost its way, but I haven't. I'm ready to bring our district's common values and common sense to serve the common good. I've spent years listening to what keeps people up at night. I don't care about your personal politics. I care about your personal health, safety, and financial future. We need to restore America's basic bargain, opportunity for all, responsibility for all. That begins with a good job. So he's using Trump's slogan here. In Washington, I worked on the only program both sides could agree on, apprenticeship jobs, training. The average apprentice makes $70,000 a year, double the average American's income. It's time to get on with people's business. There are 6 million job vacancies in manufacturing, construction, healthcare, finance, IT, clean energy, and other sectors. I have the experience needed to bring these jobs home. If you'll be my voice this election, it'll be yours in Washington. Let's get to work. As great as all that sounds, we need to keep our eyes on the prize and as ourselves, not just what he says, but what has he done. According to the Daily Caller, his reputation is far from stellar. To anyone who's not a die-hard PC liberal. camp, Najjar supports a number of policies backed by the growing hard left faction of the Democratic Party. He is a staunch supporter of a universal health care system like Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders' Medicaid for All proposal. Like Sanders, an independent, Najjar has no solution for how to pay for a universal health care system, but still thinks it is the system of the future. The Democratic hopeful is also up for stricter gun laws and is adamantly against the construction of a border wall along the southern U.S.-Mexico border. He is the grandson of one of the architects of the 1972 Palestinian terrorist attack that led to the slaughter of 11 Israeli athletes at the Olympic Games. The younger Democrat says he does not share his grandfather's political beliefs and has made strong ties with the Jewish community in the district. He is looking to unseat Hunter, a former Marine, who is under federal investigation for improperly spending campaign funds for personal use. A San Diego grand jury has subpoenaed members of his family and former Hill staffers to discern how and where Hunter spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on friends and family. So in other words, they're setting the other guy up so this guy could win, because I'm sure he doesn't have a stellar background. Despite an ongoing investigation and Republicans calling for his retirement, Hunter has outraised Najjar well over $350,000. The Republican representative also took the last election with over 63% of the vote in 2016 and 71% in 2014. It would be fantastic if no Republicans ever did anything wrong, but it's just not the case. So right now we're faced with the idea of someone who mishandles money, which admittedly isn't good, or the guy who's got a family history of terrorism. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the guy who gave money to his family is probably the one you want over the guy whose family commits premeditated mass murder. But but do you, California, know that? Yeah, and this is the slowly and methodic infiltration of our government system. Do you see? That's why they're pushing this guy. And as you can see, he is attractive in the sense of presentable. He's got like what they were doing with Obama. Do you see? They groom these people in order to infiltrate. Do you see? So you have to be very careful. In California, you know that California is not a state of being careful. They're just a total mess, and they're just going to continue making a mess of things. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.